action items came out of that white paper. One, education and training, innovation and enterprise, data and information sharing, accountability and transparency, community behavior change, and funding scientific research. And even though you would see in the white paper that funding scientific research was at one of the last things that were addressed, to me, coming from a background of development and fundraising, I understand that that is one of the most important aspects to move conservation forward and support that effort in the country. And it'll be interesting to see the innovative ways and solutions we see and in ways to develop funding for scientific research, not just throughout the university, but throughout those organizations as well, and impacting change in the country. Because as we know, we have over 700 islands and keys, and it is our job as Bahamian citizens to protect our country, protect our sun, sand, and sea. So this is just an overview of some of the areas you'll be discussing today. If you would like to find out more, we have all of the issue guide posted on the UB Conservation Conclave website, as well as a copy of the white paper. So on behalf of the University of the Bahamas, I am happy and proud to welcome you all here today. Thank you for being a part of this, and we look forward to the innovative ideas and solutions that you will bring moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Katura. I
They
know that
sound like a lot, and like what are high school kids here doing with this? But you guys are very important. We want to pick your minds, pick your brains, and we want y'all to critique what we did. In reading the paper, you guys are basically just going to go through some recommendations that we gave to the government. And when I read it, I actually realized a lot of the recommendations we gave have to do with schools, and we didn't get your opinions on that. How do you feel about some of the things we recommended the governments do for schools? So we're going to talk about that more in depth. But right now, I'm just going to go over a little bit of the housekeeping and the agenda, and then we're going to have our next speaker. So as I said, my name is Leslie Archer. I'm the policy fellow here at the university. This is a library setting, the first rule. So we're going to have an active conversation. We're going to have breakout sessions, but at the same time, keep in mind that there are students studying around, and sometimes they use the perimeter as well. The bathrooms are, you see this back door? Right there, when you go through the door to the right, you'll see the restrooms, boys and girls restrooms. And then you have the snack break is also in there. And it's almost time for snack break too. So y'all can get a snack together there. Also, no cell phones. I don't think, at least if you have your cell phones, put them on silent, please, or vibrate, so that the session isn't disrupted once we get started. We do want to thank our sponsors, the Global Environment Facility Small Grants Program, implemented by the United Nations Development Program. So the United Nations, y'all heard of them before? Yeah, they sponsored this event for us to engage, and they insisted in the agreement that they signed that we have to interact with the youth, get their opinion. We have to be inclusive, and that is what we are doing, keeping our commitment to that promise to the United Nations. We also have the Disney Conservation Fund. You know Disney? Yeah. Big Disney, Mickey Mouse. They also sponsored this event here today. They want your opinion, your feedback to get involved, and we promised that we would get it to them. Okay, so we have a serious commitment to at the University of the Bahamas, and we will take your feedback very seriously and write it up, and it will be added as an addendum to the Government of the Bahamas, your perspectives on this topic. Now, I'm going to welcome our next speaker. She is the Executive Director of the University of the Bahamas' Small Island Sustainability Program. She will tell you more about it. But we are so excited because we want you all to consider coming to UB. But we want to persuade you all to come to UB. We want to tell you about what we have, and there's no better way to introduce you than to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So we want to welcome Dr. Kristen, Welshanwala, and Dr. Brandon Bethel to the stage now. Give them a hand, please.
Good morning, everyone.
As Ms. Archer mentioned, my name is Kristen Walsh-Anwala. I'm the Executive Director of the Small Island Sustainability Program.
My name is Dr. Brandon Bethel. I am a physical oceanographer.
And also with us today, we have Ms. Tyrone Thurston in the background, who's our lab associate for the SIS program, and Mrs. Marissa Butler as well, who's our administrative assistant in charge of all the operations in our program. So if you have any questions after our presentation or want to speak to us to get more information, feel free to talk to any of the four of us here. So we are here to discuss the Small Island Sustainability Program and to give you a little bit of information about that. And we wanted to do that first by showing you a short video about our program, and you can see some of the activities that we do. If you go to the next slide and start the video. It's showing it's not in presentation mode, it looks like.
Strange, isn't it? Every time I need something to work, it doesn't work. You know, when I was in school, if this happened, yeah, life was over. Technical difficulties. Turn this down. So rather than just sitting there watching the video, if at any time you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask. Let me put it this way. What I intend to do when you all eventually get to my course is that you're not going to be, sitting down face to face with, some random person in the entire class just listening to what they have to say. Probably things you don't care about, right? Instead, I intend to bring you directly out into the field. And so if you can't swim, learn today. You're going to need it. When we go out into the environment, I assure you everybody needs to, in some capacity, know how to swim because what? We are an island country, no? If you do not know how to swim, it's going to be a very bad day. Agreed? So with our program now, we want to show you that there's something beyond what you're, let's say, experiencing in your high school careers now, where, again, you just sit, you listen, they talk, whatever, right? Here, it is face-to-face. You're going to be in the environment. You're any nail-bearing people in here, get rid of them. The nails will fall off, right? Be prepared now to be in your natural environment, whether it's in the land, it's in the ocean. You're going to be dealing with the animals, dealing with the plants. Let's say, for my particular case, I do physics, yes? So the water temperature, the salinity, all of these different variables that you would not, let's say, have an immediate understanding of, but you would still know because when you go to the beach, you drink the water, what happens? It is, and you do know that the saltiness will change based on the weather. If it rains, the saltiness goes down, right? I teach you how to measure that. I teach you how to predict that. So what you see here now is just the beginning. We went to a mind growth exercise in Alco and Grand Bahama, and our feet were covered up to your thigh, and you had to touch all the way through. And so you would want to now be fit of body and fit of mind and ready to do the work. If lab work is more your speed, then Dr. Gustav, he's in there every day, all day, and you can't get him out. You give him soil samples, and he can tell you what kind of bacteria is in there, what kind of heavy metals are there, what kind of carbon is in there, all of these different things that you wouldn't think there is a career path. I can assure you, we can give you that plus more. So this now would be an example of Dr. Delaveau and Dr. Yodiambo taking the students out to the shoreline, where you all would have been before. But can you imagine going back to the shoreline after the class and seeing things that you saw before but you did not understand at all? Sorry. So, any questions? Please ask them. I don't like when my class is quiet. Nobody sleeps in my class, ever. So? Nothing? Sorry? You can make this day one if you want. Oh yes. In fact, before we leave today, I'm going to show you something that we can do again. Alright? Where's my everything?
It's on the video now too. I just was.
Oh yeah, see that's me right there. Right? And they had me buried in mud for many days. Anybody interested in being buried in mud? Nobody? Nobody? Why not? Does nobody want to get paid? Oh, well see, now you mentioned get paid, now your mind changed. But you could imagine now doing the kind of work, that's me again with the stuff in my hand, but imagine doing this kind of work where you are the only that's me again. You are the only person trained to do this work. And so when it comes now to shell out that cash, who are you going to shell out to? No, oh, I thought you said me. No, it's me. Definitely not you, right? But it could be you. Could it not be? So, does anybody know what this is? Holy crap. But what does it do? How? The wind? But how? 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 Where's the hand? There's a hand. Go. There you go. That's the answer. Good. What school is that? CC Sweeting is eating everybody else. Come on, guys. Come on.
All right, so we're going to give you a brief overview of our program, talk to you a little bit about our degree that we offer and some of the opportunities within the marine science and SIS program. Currently, right now, the SIS program, Small Island Sustainability, at University of the Bahamas offers a Bachelor's of Science in Marine Science with a minor in Sustainability. And so with this degree, you can learn the skills and competencies needed to develop and administer sustainability strategies. So for all the environmental issues that we are facing today and will be facing in the future, we are training all of our graduates to be able to address those issues. And also, we feel very strongly about giving students practical experience in the field. So a lot of the pictures that you saw and what Dr. Bethel was just talking about, we want our students to go out in the environment, experience the environment, and learn how to protect the environment, how to measure the environment, how to collect data, how to do studies, and how we can build a better Bahamas through the courses that we take. Here we are showing some of the example classes that we offer in our SIS program. So we have a lot of exciting offerings. Dr. Bethel mentioned he teaches oceanography. We have marine biology. We have classes on sharks and coral reefs, marine mammals. We have a scuba diving class that we've been offering for the past couple of years so that we can certify students to become scuba divers. As well as disaster risk management classes, coastal zone management, and environmental science and sustainability classes. Do you want to speak about some of the class events?
So, I'm back again, and it's time for questions. I would like 3 questions from the ladies and 3 questions from the guys. Are we ready? Do I need to call schools? So either you volunteer yourself, bring me somebody, or I find somebody myself. Go. Go.
How long is course?
Which course? And so, how old are you now? Yes, oh, you'll be fine, right? By the time you graduate, you'll be 18, and then you do a 4-year course. If you do it in 4 years, you'll be 22. After your 4-year course, then you go off and do a master's. You should be, 25 after that. And you do another degree, your PhD. 3 more years, 3 to 4, and you should be, 30. So, how old am I? 21, I love it. We're just sitting right there. So, 4 years is the program. Next. Go. I wouldn't say it's a fundraiser. Well, you're going to be out there doing that anyway. Any other questions? Please, go ahead. Do I give you the impression that I'm only like this today? No. I tell my students all the time that when they are late for my class, they are stealing time from me. When I go to my class, I tell my students that when they're late, they are stealing class from me. And so this is every day, all day. Well, let me put it this way. As a volunteer, no one's going to tell you no. You can be high school, college, a million like myself, and they will always want you to be there. And so we do have programs throughout the year that we put out a call for the high school students. We can speak to your teachers, and we'll let you know. You want to show up? Show up. And we'll show you what we do, real time. So you see all of this now. This is Dr. Davis. He is an environmental scientist, but he's also very good at ornithology, birds, let's say soil science. I've seen him do as well. So whenever we go out into the environment, we have things to measure. Why not bring you all to do it? For us, that gives us an opportunity to share our skills that we gained over the past 10 years and give it directly to you. So you can skip ahead and learn something that will be incredibly valuable right away. So the answer, long story short, is yes. Nobody seems animated for questions. Go.
Can you give me information on the menu program?
Here's what we'll do. When we're done, come find me, and I'll give you everything. Nothing? More questions?
No.
Without courage, what are we? Ask questions. Go. What's the... Which picture? You mean the one in the center? This one here? So this now would be, the student is going to do a field exercise. I am not entirely sure what they're doing in this particular picture, but what you would imagine then, that if we have to measure the above and the below ground biomass for different plants, then you want to go and measure how tall the tree is, how wide the tree is, how broad the canopy is. There's a variety of things to be done. But please, more questions. Anything?
What's your favorite part of the program?
Oh boy, oh great, now you've done it. I think the best part of the program is getting an opportunity to teach you things that I wish I knew at your age. Because there's nothing that is more exciting to me than when I explain something to you. I use an example that you would have come in contact with. So for example, have everyone here been to the beach? Everyone's been in the pool?
Yeah.
So when you at the surface waters, the water is what? Is it warm or cold?
Warm.
It's typically warm, right?
Yeah.
But as you go further down, it gets
Colder.
why?
Because the sun hits the top of the surface.
Exactly. It warms up the surface, right?
Yeah.
But then intervening between that warm layer and the cold layer is another layer called a thermocline. And a thermocline is something that I think you not have heard of before, right? So, that is the best part of it. It is explaining things to you that I know you know, but in a scientific way, and have you light up in the realization that, oh yes, it must be this way.
I'm going to ask Ms. Thurston, who has a sign-up sheet, to pass that around for any students who are interested in the program and for getting more information, and then we can share that with you, send you our pamphlet, and you can also speak to us during the break as well.
What's the most valuable skill needed to, like, when you go into it?
Courage. That is the most valuable skill. If you do not have the courage to try, it means you won't learn. And if you don't learn, you're wasting your time. So I would say yes, learning how to swim, being able to read, being able to write, those are basic things. But having the courage to realize that the ocean could possibly be a deep and scary place. But if you have the courage to give it a try and see that it could also be somewhere beautiful too. No? You go next.
I don't know. I'm not sure this is we have more time.
Do we have more time for questions?
30 seconds.
All right, go. Last question. Go, 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 go. Oh wait, you asked me before. Go ahead.
What do you believe is the most exciting thing that you did in this project?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that depends very strongly on what you want to do. And so, let's say if you went into oceanography, and that's what I do. I think the most exciting thing to learn there is the fact that when you had Hurricane Dorian, and everybody would have remembered that, the most exciting thing from that class was that what happened in terms of the loss of life did not need to happen like that. If we had better tools to forecast what the winds and the waves were doing, what the storm surge was going to do, and if we could communicate that in a better way to people who did not believe that it was going to be bad, that now would have been, the most useful thing to learn. And I believe everybody in here could appreciate that fact, no? So, from an oceanography perspective, that's the answer. But it could change for shark biology, and it will change for, let's say, for soil science. And I know nothing about soil science, so I couldn't possibly answer the question there. Fair enough? Where's Ms. Asha? Perfect.
So the sign-up sheets are making their way across this way. If you're interested in the program or getting more information, please list your information down, and you can also find them during the break. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, give our program a hand. All right, so now we're gonna have our little snack break. Anybody hungry? Yes. All right, we're gonna start with the back row. The back row is good to start.